Oh, seriously?
Yeah, it's stupid.
So I got to this child custody thing, and I just started getting creative about it, because it's like, well, what do I
It was supposed to be the comeback of all comeback season 20. The redemption arc. The revival of a franchise that had once captivated millions with its raw portrayal of unconventional love, loyalty, and the chaos of polygamy. TLC had promised a clean slate, a fresh format. It's a chance to re-engage viewers who had drifted as the Brown family fractured before their very eyes. The network quietly hinted at a tighter narrative, deeper emotional moments, and most tantalizing of all, the possibility of real confrontation and closure. But behind the cameras, long before the trailer rolled out, insiders say the mood had soured like week-old milk the second a decision dropped that would send shockwaves through the cast. Season 20 was being cut, not delayed, not creatively reframed us. Slashed in half with a kind of surgical brutality usually reserved for canceled spin-offs. Gone were the 8 to 10 episodes everyone had mentally and contractually prepped for. Now, they were told they'd be lucky to get 4. For the news didn't come through a heartfelt call from an executive producer or even a group Zoom. No, it arrived midweek via a generic tour email, cold, clinical, devoid of empathy, and that's when everything snapped. Phones buzzed non-stop in cast group chats. Janelle allegedly texted WTF while Christine simply sent a red-faced emoji and 3 question marks. According to one insider, the crew didn't even know until they saw Kody Brown pacing the studio parking lot, phone glued to his ear, barking into it like a man possessed. And that was just the beginning for Cody, who had reportedly been banking on season 22, rehabilitate his crumbling image and maybe even secure a spin-off with Robyn. The gut punch came fast and dirty. Onlookers claim he cornered a junior producer, yelling for answers no one could legally give. When someone had the nerve to suggest the episode cut came from top-level execs reviewing recent audience sentiment, he reportedly exploded. TLC, meanwhile, kept their mouths shut publicly, but fans knew. They'd seen the dip in ratings. The erosion of trust. The online backlash over Robyn's mansion and Cody's increasingly erratic interviews. The truth was, viewers were tired of watching a family that was already dissolved, dragged out for one more season of birthday parties and passive-aggressive couch interviews. Christine had remarried, Janelle was independent and thriving. Meri was off renovating her life in silence, and the only thing keeping the show tethered together was the sinking ship of Cody and Robyn's over-polished, unbelievable romance. But TLC didn't expect what came next. Cody reportedly threatened to walk. One producer allegedly heard a door slam so hard it cracked drywall inside a production trailer. Another crew member claimed he shouted, "No show, no legacy, no more loyalty," into the void of a deserted studio lot. Whether it was a heat of the moment, tantrum, or a genuine threat to nuke the show, no one knew for sure. But what happened 24 hours later changed everything. A phone call overheard through the thin walls of a trailer sent chills down spines. Cody's voice, unmistakably hoarse and shaking with fury, allegedly screamed into the line, "I built this brand. Think people tune in for Christine's tea parties?" The tirade continued, morphing from meltdown to desperate negotiation. He reportedly demanded TLC double the episode count or risk losing the only storyline he believed still drew fire, himself. According to one producer, he called himself the anchor, then accused the network of betrayal, insisting they owed him not only screen time, but legacy respect. "They forgot who made Sister Wives famous," he allegedly snarled. Backstage, producers reportedly tried to de-escalate, dangling vague promises about future seasons and creative flexibility. But Cody wasn't having it. He allegedly started pitching last-minute drama bombs, dragging David Woolley into a truth table showdown. ambushing Janelle on camera over her farm finances and even proposing a no-holds-barred confrontation with Meri about her financial stake in the family. When producers didn't bite, Kody threatened to film his own content. That's right. Word is, he floated the idea of launching a self-produced YouTube channel starring himself and Robyn, allegedly claiming networks don't control fame anymore. It was the final straw. Within hours, one network exec reportedly contacted TLC's legal team, initiating what insiders called contingency phase, a scramble to figure out who could carry the franchise if Kody went rogue. Could Christine and Janelle helmet with their new arcs? Could Meri be coaxed back into a more vocal role? Could they pivot to the adult kids? Around the same time, Reddit users began noticing film crews popping up around Christine's Airbnb business, cameras rolling with zero Kody in sight. Coincidence or Phase B in action? That's what fans were dying to know. But just as the network was weighing its options, Kody learned the worst news of all. Less airtime meant less money, and that's when things turned nuclear. Sources close to production say Kody flipped when the revised payment numbers hit his inbox. He allegedly claimed his contract guaranteed a full season salary regardless of how many episodes aired. TLC's legal team calmly pushed back, citing fine print. The payment was per episode, not per season. That quiet clause may have been the fuse that lit the powder keg. What came next was explosive. Kody allegedly demanded a raise. Yes, fewer episodes, but a higher rate. His reasoning: if the drama was now condensed and laser-focused on him, then each episode was worth more. If I have to carry this season, you're paying for every drop of sweat, he reportedly said. But TLC didn't budge, and that's when the other Brown women started to stir. Janelle Long, the quiet strength in the family, allegedly warned producers that if Kody kept demanding more money while everyone else remained in limbo, she'd go public with receipts, literal receipts of unreported income, creative bookkeeping, and questionable transfers from the infamous Coyote Pass Fund. Christine reportedly backed her up and even hinted the adult kids had screenshots showing where some of that money really went, allegedly including PayPal activity tied to Robyn's lavish lifestyle. Meri, though more muted, was reportedly seething behind the scenes, having been left out of financial decisions for months. At this point, producers were in a bind: film the implosion and risk legal fire, or restructure the season around Christine's glow and Janelle's quiet power. Either way, Kody wasn't getting what he wanted, and that made him more unpredictable. Meanwhile, fans were already in full revolt. The moment word leaked that season 20 had been cut short, Reddit lit up like a bonfire. Posts with thousands of upvotes demanded one thing: transparency. Where was the money? What happened to the profits from the Coyote Pass land? Why did Robyn get $1 million McMansion while Janelle was forced to park an RV in the desert? The comment sections turned brutal. Cancel the show if you're not going to show the truth. One viral post read, "No more healing montages. We want audits." Another dubbed TLC the Robyn Protection Program and accused the network of whitewashing her spending and shielding her from fan accountability. The most repeated demand: show us the money trailer, shut it all down. Fans weren't buying the softly lit interviews, the vague spiritual journeys, or the coded language about feeling betrayed. They wanted financial receipts. They wanted on-camera confrontations. They wanted to see what Kody and Robyn had been hiding. And according to new whispers from inside the post-production room, the show might finally deliver. There's talk, still unconfirmed, that footage exists of Janelle directly asking Kody about missing funds, only for him to deflect and rage out. There's also footage of a crew member allegedly catching Robyn on a hot mic saying something about separate accounts and what's fair to my kids. Whether that makes it to air is up to TLC's legal and editing departments. But one thing's clear: the fans have spoken, and they're not backing down. The Brown family brand is teetering. And with each passing week, it seems less like a reality show and more like a house of cards built on spin, secrecy, and financial resentment. For Cody, who once called himself the head of the household, the narrative is slipping away. For Janelle and Christine, it's a chance to reclaim the story. For Meri, it may be her quiet revenge. And for fans, it's the drama they've waited 10 seasons to Syrah, unfiltered and long overdue. Whether season 20 survives the storm, or collapses under the weight of lawsuits, fan fury, and Cody's pride. One thing is certain, the cracks can't be hidden anymore. The game has changed, and StarSpill USA will be watching every second. Every second.
A bunch of alcoholics that had a fight last night and forgot it happened.
Well, I don't know. Your boys are as stubborn as you are, so.
No, I'm not being stubborn here.
While dragging Meri, Janelle, Kay, and Christine through years of emotional purgatory and gaslighting masked as family values. The illusion of unity finally shattered under the weight of its own hypocrisy, and fans who had once rooted for healing and togetherness now found themselves clicking that little up arrow beneath a viral Reddit post that didn't mince words. This wasn't a love story. It was a decade-long con job. That comment alone became a rallying cry, an unofficial truth bomb that exploded across fan pages, Facebook groups, and Twitter threads faster than TLC's social media team could control. Internally, sources claim the reaction was immediate, and Grim no longer just cutesy teasers and hashtags about family bonding, but now full-blown emergency mode, according to production insiders. That same team was quickly instructed to flag fan feedback and run internal sentiment report stat. Zoom-based focus groups were hastily thrown together, mostly with viewers over 50. The show's original core demographic to assess whether any goodwill still remained. Spoiler alert, it didn't. One anonymous insider close to post-production admitted viewer trust has hit rock bottom. It's the overwhelming sentiment. Fans felt deceived, manipulated, and insulted by what they saw as TLC choosing the Kody and Robyn show over real storytelling. They keep saying it's about the family, one fan wrote, but the family doesn't even speak to each other anymore. It's just a man crying over his own wreckage while everyone else quietly rebuilds. What really lit the fuse, however, were whispers, persistent ones, that TLC had deliberately cut key scenes from season 19. Unseen financial arguments, tearful confessions, even heated moments between the older children, all allegedly left on the cutting room floor to maintain a cleaner, more Cody-friendly narrative. Viewers weren't just skeptical anymore, they were livid. They weren't imagining the sanitized editing. According to multiple reports, raw footage had shown far more emotional intensity than what aired. And as the episode count was suddenly slashed, no restructuring, no delay. Just Gone fans worried that the trend would continue. Another highlight reel, another hollow season. But then, something shifted quietly at first, then unmistakably loud. A new storm began to brew, not online, but on set, during what was supposed to be a low-key production meeting. The mood was casual, the scripts were loose, cameras weren't even rolling. Christine, seated calmly beside Janelle, dropped the kind of bomb that couldn't be ignored. She didn't ask for closure or validation, just for receipts. A full on-camera audit of the infamous Coyote pass funds. No more vague references and confessionals. No more blurry timelines. She wanted a step-by-step breakdown where the money went, who signed what, and most importantly, how Robyn ended up with the biggest slice of a pie that was supposed to be divided equally. Producers froze. One attempted to pivot with some offhand line about protecting family privacy. But Christine, eyes unwavering, allegedly snapped back with a line so cold it made the room go silent. Privacy didn't stop you from filming our divorces, so why now? That line broke the spell. Cody, reportedly red-faced and shaking, exploded. He called it betrayal. He accused Christine and Janelle of weaponizing production to humiliate Robyn. But Robyn, who sources say was visibly shaken, offered little defense. She reportedly kept mumbling that she didn't know anything about the money, that Kody handled all of it. That was when Christine allegedly reached into her purse and pulled out a neatly folded documentan itemized list, with annotations of what she claimed were major Coyote Pass transactions, some of which, according to her, directly funded Robyn's new house and renovations. One producer, stunned, asked if she had hard proof. Her answer: "I have screenshots. What those screenshots contained remains a tightly held secret." But insiders say the moment sent a chill down everyone's spine. Robyn's expression reportedly changed from confused to calculating, and Kody allegedly stormed off set and immediately phoned a lawyer, fuming that this show was becoming a legal liability, and vowing to sue if production aired anything that hinted at financial mismanagement. He accused producers of turning the family against itself and claimed they were crossing the line into character assassination. Janelle, meanwhile, is said to have laughed and muttered something about how that ship had sailed years ago. The damage was done, and the producers. Torn on one hand, they finally had the drama, the receipts, the real tension that fans had been begging for. On the other hand, airing it could ignite lawsuits, fan backlash, or worse. And just as the dust began to settle, another curveball hit. Rumors began swirling that Christine and Janelle weren't waiting for season 20 at all. At first, it was whispers, then a slip from a field producer. Then, allegedly, a late-night three-way call between network higher-ups. TLC was hedging its bets. If season 20 was doomed, they needed a backup, a bold one, a spin-off, not a special. A full series tentatively titled Sister Strong, The Pitch. A show that followed Christine and Janelle on their terms, far from Kody's shadow. Christine's Airbnb ventures, Janelle's dream of a flower farm, road trips across all 50 states, guest cameos from their children, healing, joy, growth, not a single frame of Robyn or Kody in sight. Executives were allegedly stunned by the test footage scenes from a recent Utah trip that reportedly had more warmth in 10 minutes than the entire last season combined. One exec called Christine and Janelle relatable, resilient, and real. Focus groups adored Christine's blossoming love story with David. They were moved by Janelle's emotional journey after losing Garrison. In short, this was the sister wives content fans had been begging for. And the best part? It didn't need Kody. But not everyone was celebrating. When word reached Kody about Sister Strong, insiders say he went ballistic. He reportedly stormed into a production meeting uninvited and screamed, "You're making a show without me over my dead body." Robyn, who was said to be pacing in the hallway, didn't utter a word. Her silence, one source claimed, spoke volumes. The idea of being sidelined after years of sacrifice and sobbing on screen was reportedly too much for her to process. For Christine and Janelle, it was a moment of empowerment. They finally had the leverage. For years, they were portrayed as burdens, as complainers, as the women who couldn't handle polygamy. Now, they were fan favorites. They were the future. TLC played it neutral, publicly insisting season 20 wasn't canceled. Just adjusted, but behind closed doors, contracts were being drafted, shooting schedules were being floated, and cameras were already rolling in new locations. Christine's daughter truly was reportedly thrilled. Janelle's grandchildren were even being considered for soft cameos. And through all of this, a quiet but undeniable message echoed louder with each passing day. This family no longer revolved around Kody. But the spinoff wasn't the final shock. Because Christine, moving with silent precision, had filed something else entirely. A legal document, one that reportedly landed on Kody's metaphorical doorstep with the force of a bomb. According to courthouse whispers, Christine had filed for back child support. That's right, not a prenup, not a property motion, but a formal request for unpaid child support dating back years. The timing couldn't have been worse for Kody. His finances were already under scrutiny. And now Christine, emboldened and legally savvy, was demanding what she claimed was long overdue. The court documents, said to be meticulously prepared, allegedly outlined inconsistencies between what Cody claimed publicly and what he actually paid over the years. Screenshots, Venmo transfers, even old bank statements may be part of the file. According to insiders, Cody, caught off guard, reportedly lashed out again, this time at his own legal team. He accused Christine of using the court system to bleed him dry. But legal experts say this filing could be a game changer. Not just financially, but narratively. It could reframe everything the show has ever presented about him as a provider, as a father, as a so-called spiritual head of household. If the judge finds merit in Christine's claims, Cody may be forced to pay thousands, maybe more. And with cameras circling, producers scrambling, and fans dissecting every leak, the stakes have never been higher. TLC finds itself standing at a narrative crossroads. Air the drama and risk legal heat, or bury the truth and risk total fan revolt. Either way, the curtain has been pulled back. The audience sees the wires now, and Christine and Janelle, no longer supporting players. They are the show. Cody may still be yelling into production offices, and Robyn may still be crying behind closed doors. But the real story, the raw, honest, unvarnished truth is finally being told. And no matter what TLC decides, the fans have already made their choice. They're watching Sister Strong. This isn't about polygamy anymore. It's about survival. It's about justice. It's about women taking back their narratives, one episode at a time. And for the first time in years, the Sister Wives universe feels real again. It's real again.
So I just came to ask you a question, because I'm going to be moving in a couple of weeks.
Why so early?
The paperwork hit like a grenade. Christine, quiet but calculated, reportedly filed for back child support for Truly, referencing unpaid contributions going back years, both before and after her official split from Cody, while TLC may never air the legal details due to restrictions. Insiders claim the filing triggered a full-scale meltdown behind the scenes. Cody, already fraying from the season's production chaos and whispers of a Christine Janelle spinoff, allegedly went DEFCON 1, shouting, "She's doing this now. After I let her walk away clean." Whether it was a strategic move or emotional reaction remains debated. Some say the abrupt episode count cuts and reduced pay pushed Christine to protect Truly's future. Others insist she'd been sitting on the decision for months, just waiting for the right time. But one thing was certain, the Cody and Robyn camp responded swiftly. Sources say Robyn was visibly shaken, allegedly repeating, "We can't afford another legal battle," and even murmuring the line that set fans ablaze online, "But the money's already gone." That single phrase reignited long-standing suspicions that proceeds from the Coyote Pass property, which was meant to benefit the whole family, had already been funneled into Robyn's lavish McMansion, her mounting debt, and a lifestyle Christine and Janelle never agreed to subsidize. With Christine's legal filing now active, Cody's entire financial trail was at risk of exposure on or off camera. Even Meri, who's remained publicly distant from most of the chaos, allegedly referenced it in a cryptic live stream comment, saying some people pretend to be broke after living big for years. A thinly veiled jab that fans immediately linked to Cody and Robyn. And while TLC has often danced around the financial drama, insiders claim the network began seriously debating whether to finally address it head-on, even if just through a reaction segment filmed with Christine at home. She reportedly looked straight at the camera and said, "It's not revenge, it's responsibility." That line alone, insiders say, could end up as an episode title. Meanwhile, things kept spiraling for Cody. First came the audit request from Christine and Janelle during a production meeting demanding transparency on Coyote Pass funds. Then came this child support bombshell. And just when he thought it couldn't get worse, a leaked set of internal financial records allegedly tied the down payment and renovation costs of Robyn's mansion directly to the communal pot. Fans began connecting dots in real time, comparing Zillow listings, analyzing confessionals, cross-referencing construction permits with timeline footage. The internet exploded. And then, perhaps most damning of all, Meri allegedly told a crew member she had records from the early property. Division meetings, screenshots, even scanned checks. No one knows exactly what she's holding, but one producer said it was enough to make Robyn go pale. Robyn, now reportedly in full-blown PR survival mode, is said to have begged TLC not to air any reference to the McMansion funding, fearing public backlash. Some claim she was blindsided, insisting she had no idea where the money came from. But at this point, that defense may not matter because Christine and Janelle reportedly intend to bring it up on camera regardless. If it stays in the final cut, it will mark the first time Sister Wives stops dancing around its core financial betrayal and actually confronts it. For Cody, the timing couldn't be worse. He's allegedly grown erratic on set, missing cues, lashing out at producers, refusing to sit for scheduled interviews, even accusing the network of character assassination dressed as reality TV. And while he's spiraling, TLC's leadership is in full triage mode. A leaked internal memo reportedly offered 3 stark options: condense season 22 episodes, turn it into a single explosive farewell special, or cancel the season entirely. Behind closed doors, executives debated the future. Some said the franchise had peaked with Christine's wedding and couldn't survive more Cody-fueled breakdowns. Others saw value in documenting the disintegration of divorce, reinvention, and the fallout of a failed experiment in modern polygamy. One unexpected idea that gained traction: 2-hour special titled Sister Wives. The final split featuring never-before-seen footage, private confessionals, and possibly a sit-down between Christine, Janelle, and Meri. Cody and Robyn would be invited, but not required. One producer reportedly called it the anti-reunion reunion, raw, honest, and potentially redemptive. But before plans could solidify, Cody allegedly got wind of the proposal and went ballistic, threatening to walk, go public, and even name names if TLC dared to cut him out. "You cut me out, I bury this show," he allegedly screamed. During a tense call with executives, the problem: TLC didn't flinch. Sources claim the network had already trademarked a new title sister strong and Cody's name wasn't part of it. For a man who once demanded center stage in every frame, the silence was brutal. According to production leaks, TLC is preparing to use the remaining season footage. It airs at all as a narrative bridge to the new spin-off, which follows Christine and Janelle living independently, focusing on their careers, family healing, and real emotional growth. Robyn and Cody will only appear as needed to close loose ends. One crew member said Robyn cried during the final shoot, allegedly saying, "I never wanted to be the villain." But even that moment, raw as it may be, couldn't shift the tide. The audience no longer sees her as the victim. They see her as the beneficiary of a broken system. And now, with Christine's court filings, Meri's hidden receipts, a potential financial scandal brewing, and spin-off buzz reaching fever pitch, the message is clear: the center of gravity has shifted. This isn't about Cody anymore. It never really was. TLC, for all its years of protecting him as the patriarch, now recognizes where the future lies, with the women who broke free, spoke up, and chose healing over control. Whether it ends in a final tell-all or a whole new series, one thing's for sure: Christine, Janelle, and even Meri are done waiting in the wings. This is their show now. So what do you think? Should TLC finally give us the closure we deserve? Or let Christine, Janelle, and Meri take the reins and write a new story entirely? Leave a comment, subscribe, and stay tuned because the next video, Cody's not going to like what's in it.